Hello everybody, Kawaii Indigo here, and today I am going to be making a theory on good old-fashioned Little Nightmares. Now, everybody is probably like, but aren't you in the middle of playing that? Aren't you only on like part 4 and you were just messing around? Well, in my own spare time, I finished the game. I am extremely sorry. YouTubers really don't do this much, but I am newer. I don't have good quality. It's terrible. The past 2 that I made were just terrible. So I stopped them. I stopped making the series. I realized that I wasn't doing good with it. So I'm gonna be making a theory instead. This is going to be about the real world in their area. So, the real world. Yes. There is, everybody knows in my video, in my, 3rd episode of playing the game, I found a shrine-looking area, because I saw something behind the thing. I thought there was, a light area, but then I saw the rim, and I was like, oh, I need to go down here, maybe. Maybe there's a secret, maybe there's a gnome I can find. Or maybe that door is just not where I need to go. Well, good thing I did go through there, because I was able to find something. And that was the geisha's little shrine thing. There was a little shrine dedicated to the geisha. All the pictures were of the geisha. But there was one particular picture. It just blows my mind. Now I'm talking about their real world, their city, the city outside of the mall. In the comics, you can actually see that there is a world outside the mall. It's not just the mall, there is actually a place outside. And that place it's weird, right? And even in Six's little bio, it says she belongs elsewhere. After everybody saw this, everybody was like, oh no, she is not the geisha's daughter. She can't be now because she was in the city. I think otherwise. I still think Six is the geisha's daughter. Why? Well, here is one thing. In the room, yeah, I think I said room just now. In the room, there is a picture of a lady standing. Of course, the geisha, right? Well, it doesn't look like the geisha. There is a picture of a woman in a red dress, a normal red dress that you would just see out in public. Not a kimono that you would see, but just a red dress with red high heels. Just something you would see out just walking to, I don't know, walking to Walmart or something. Just going to the store, buying something, you see a lady and she has a red dress. That's how normal it is. But why would that be in a room dedicated to the geisha? Why? Why are there statues of the geisha? I don't think these statues are specifically of this geisha. I think the statues are of many geishas. Showing that these are geishas. They're just normal people. Now, geishas entertain people. Okay? They entertain. And this particular geisha here, there was probably others who owned the establishment. And that is 4 other women. I think this is 5. I think the geisha is 5. And she has 4 sisters. Not other children. Sisters. And these sisters, the eldest sister gets to run the establishment. And this is like a rivalry between a family. A rivalry. And that is why they're only silhouettes. Maybe she marked them out. And we know she's good at marking out pictures, because we can see a picture of a little girl in a dress, and it's like the face is all black. You can't see anything. It's been blacked out. And it looks like they just tried to cover her face. The game didn't try to just cover her face. No, the game wants to show that this lady covers the faces of people she doesn't like. She probably doesn't like her own daughter, which is 6. Number 5, she wants to own the establishment. She wants to run it. But she left her child behind. And that is whenever the ferryman comes in. The ferryman finds her and brings her to the mall. The lady sees that, and she's like, okay, he's bringing my daughter here. Great. Now I have an obstacle. Now I have something that I need to get rid of. So she calls up the janitor. The janitor is there to get rid of her. The area you see the most suitcases in, I would say the only suitcases, but there is a suitcase in the chef's room, but there's only one. So, I mean, I guess the room you see the most suitcases in is in every area with the janitor. Every area that the janitor has access to. And also, 6 wakes up in what you would call a suitcase. There are no guests that bring suitcases. None. Zilch. 0. I'm gonna change my lighting a bit here. I think this looks a little better. I think this is the best looking I can get. Wow. Surprising. And 6, she doesn't escape the mall. She only gets up to the top of it. So obviously she's the next to run the establishment after killing her own mother. She probably killed her mother for a good reason. Rivalry. Obviously, what I've said before. I think number 5 has killed the rest of her family. And the granny might be a part of that family, and she abandoned her. And now they're spamming me again. Stop it. Jeez. They're spamming me, and they're always just going along with their day. Whoop-de-doo. So you're going to be seeing that light going off. But I'm just going to do that. So, yay! Great. But, so I don't know. That's just what I think. I think that's how the numbers work. Is the geisha. The one who's next. And I find it kind of weird that after 6 beats the game, well, not 6, but you beat the game, 6 earns a geisha mask. It's like, after she got rid of the past geisha, she became the next one. She became the one who runs the establishment. Not only that, but I think everything that's really small seems a little too convenient for 6. And the gnomes always help out 6. I think the little guys, they are like servants. You can hear a gnome in the DLC as you're going through a little area. And everything just seems so small, so convenient for him as well, that gnomes could also do it. Gnomes are about the same size as 6, and the same size as this kid. Because this kid is also a child, just like 6. They're both children, they're both the same size, and they're all the same sizes as the gnomes. It would just make sense. And I know that it is, like, kind of weird, but, like, I thought that 6 and the Runaway Kid were, siblings, but, I think I covered it now. I think now I'm just like, nope, they're not, because of the DLC. So, this DLC is obviously going to give us more theories and gonna debunk theories for us. So, I just can't wait until November and January. But I know for a fact that the Runaway Kid, his fate will be in the hands of either 6 or 5. 5 might have killed him at the end. And then she finds 6, and 6 gets up into the quarters. I don't know. So now we're going off to the next theory. It's been 10 minutes, so now I shall go on to the theory that revolves around the depths. Now we can talk about the depths and how the chapters are going to go along. How the next 2 chapters are going to go along. I have a theory on how they're going to go along, but obviously it's probably going to be wrong, I hope it is, because then they'll just suck. That means it's too expecting, and I love it when games aren't that expecting. That's why I was kind of disappointed with Gladiators 2, but at the same time, I kind of liked it. I mean, I kind of knew that Sid was Alias, so it kind of bummed me out, you know. I thought I could find a way to debunk it, and I was like, oh, no. You know what? It's kind of been confirmed now. I just like games that surprise me. So, I would hope this theory gets, like, I would just hope that this theory isn't 100% correct. I know there's a theorist out there, one of my buddies. 5 years ago, he made a theory on Gradish, and, you know, how Gradish 2 was gonna go, and, kind of went out almost 100%. It terrified me, but at the same time, I was like, ah. That's why I was kind of disappointed with Gradish 2, because, you know, he kind of spoiled it for me by making that theory. So, you know, I hope this isn't, like, one of those instances where you, like, become all bummed out whenever the next 2 chapters come, and go like, oh, this YouTuber already cleared this. This is correct. How could this happen? I should have expected this. So, I'm not gonna purposely say, like, weird things like, oh, you get to find a gnome and throw it into the furnace. No. I'm going to say something more like, I think you just completely skipped the layer. Because 6 goes through the entire layer. But that is because she takes a different route. We obviously know this kid is taking a completely different route. And so, this kid, he's taking, like, the opposite route, and then he goes into the correct route that 6 is going to. They end up in the same area, he gets dragged away, and she's still asleep. And she's just waking up as he's being dragged away. And he's obviously being dragged away into the room where he's wrapping up the children, putting them on the hooks, and they're going along. I think the girl that he first grabs, you know, whatever, he has that weird hand, it's just like, and then her body's just, like, out here, and he's like, like, I think that's kind of weird animation, but, you know, it works. He's just like, but, you know, then he puts them on the hook, and they go along. Obviously, they go on to the kitchen. I think this kid is going to no. Okay. This thing has a voice thing, obviously, because you can hear me in my broadcasts and such. So, obviously, you know I have a microphone, and right now it just wanted me to either play a game or eggs out or turn off my PlayStation. Please don't turn off. I was hoping that it wasn't going to turn off, but it works. Or, you know, it's going to log me out, so I hope that it doesn't happen now, babe. I gotta stop talking about the commands, because then it's going to actually do it. So, basically, I think after he drags the boy into it, he is focused on 6 opening the little hatch. And so, this kid, he's like, hey, now's my chance. He runs up, he exits out of his cage, he runs up onto the table, and grabs onto a hook. And then that takes him into the kitchen. He goes from the kitchen and into the inferno. And I would really believe that he goes to the kitchen for the inferno area, because it's a kitchen. You cook stuff there. So I would think so. And there's a dead gnome in the game in that area, so, you know, gnomes are helping you out in that area. There's a dead gnome. It works. So, I actually think that the reason why he has 3 chapters is because he escapes faster. He gets out of this faster and dies quicker, too. Yeah. Well, 6, it takes her longer, because she has to go to the ladies' quarters. Obviously, now we know this kid just went from the prison instantly to the lair. And, he doesn't just go through from the depths. He doesn't go prison, depths, lair. If this was 6, it would just be prison, lair, quickly, instantly. And obviously, he just had 1 chapter. That didn't even take long. It was about the same size as the prison. So obviously he's getting around quicker. He's getting around way faster than he should be. So he went down, he grabbed on the hook, and went to the inferno. After that, I don't know how he gets into the guest area. I wouldn't even know. It's so confusing for me that I don't even know how he would get into the guest area. I think he gets there before the guests even come in. So, he gets there. He's like, okay, there's no one here. Except for the lady and the chefs. I think the chefs will also have a part in this, also trying to get to the kid. Obviously, he doesn't kill them because he finishes up. And then 6 comes along. So, obviously, the chefs will probably be in this as well. In the second one. In the third one, I definitely believe that these 2... Oh my gosh. Oh, well, the controller's dying. That's it. My controller's always dying, and it never dies. It works. You know, it's always saying, hey, your controller's about to die. I leave it out for, like, 3 hours, and it's like, hey, your controller's at 2 batteries, so it's good. I'm just like, how does that happen? It was about to die, and now it's not. It happens a lot. But either way, back on topic. I have no idea how he would get from the kitchen to the guest area. I don't even think he'll go the same way as 6 because he's going into the inferno. And I don't know how you can get from there to the guest area. And probably by the time he gets to the guest area, it's empty. Or packed up, or starting to get packed up, so he has to avoid these things walking. And maybe he tries and gets to the boat so he can escape finally. Maybe that's what he's doing. And then the lady catches on quickly. And she's like, nope, you're coming here. And she brings him. She takes him. She's like, no, you're not going there. Or maybe Bellboy will come back. I don't know. I actually don't know. I think Bellboy might come back because, you know, they usually have the job of opening doors for things and then closing them for people. You know, he's like, oh, come on in. I mean, that's what bellboys usually are, right? And also, the mirror is still kind of confusing to me. Like, obviously, they took the guy out, but what if they're going to put him back into the game? What if, in the finale, he comes out of his mirror? He is out of the chair now. He's like, oh, I am alert. I now have to get this little boy. Because he's trying to escape. He's on this other ship that's trying to go away. He should not do that. He needs to come back. He's a child that we are trying to feed to the guests, I guess. Even though I don't think that they're actually being fed the children because, well, those chunks of meat that's not a child. That is something else. I don't know what it is. Cannibalism? Probably? Cannibalism? No? Okay. I don't know what it is. Her sisters? Those are some pretty big chunks of meat. Too big for a child. And now we know those bags that are holding children, those are multiple children. So, I don't know, maybe they found a way to fuse children and then cook them? If so, that is disturbing. That is too disturbing. I don't like that at all. They have their own way of fishing. So obviously I know how they get their fish, but I don't know how they get their meat. You can go in the comment section and tell me if you know how they can get their meat. Maybe it's cannibalism. Maybe they're eating each other. Past guests. You know, the guests are supposed to die anyways, so, you know, it works. But it's just so much food. You know, you kill the guests before they can even finish their food. So the next guests that come over, what are you going to do with the bodies this time? Make even more food? Obviously. But I think the kid's fate leads into the hands of the lady. And if they bring back the bellboy, it might be in the final chapter, and that is going to take a year. So, you know, a year is a long time, but it also takes a long time to implement something that you took out. It also takes a really long time to make them. It's kind of like Walking Dead kind of thing, you know, the Telltale series, like any Telltale series, any Telltale game. It takes a long time for the next chapter to come out. So, I mean, I would kind of like, I'm kind of fine with it. I mean, the DLC was still really good, even though a lot of people were like, oh, that was short. I still think it was good. Tell me what you think of this theory, saying that this is how the kid's story is gonna go, and how the lady could still be the mother of 6. I don't know. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye!